Well, Peel police say the remains found in a Brampton house fire last week belong to 3 members of a family. CB24's Courtney Heels is live at the home at Big Skyway and Van Kirk Drive. Good morning.
Good morning, Jamie. And there is still a very big investigation into the circumstances surrounding this fire. As you mentioned, it broke out in Brampton. Behind me, all that's left of this home, and new word this morning identifying the human remains that were discovered here. Basically what happened, investigators were searching through the rubble last week. That's when the Ontario Fire Marshal's Office had identified human remains. And what's new is the family who lived here. So what we can share with you now, Rajiv Wariku, who was 51 years old, along with his wife, Shilpa Kotha, who was 47, and their 16-year-old daughter, Mehek Wariko. Let's bring in Constable Taryn Young with Peel Regional Police for more on this. Good morning, Constable. What more can you tell us about the investigation and how 3 members of this family died? Have investigators been able to figure that out yet?
Good morning, Courtney. Thank you so much for bringing light to this investigation. Our investigators are working around the clock with our Ontario Fire Marshals and the Ontario Coroner's Office to figure out the cause of this fire and the cause of the death that have devastated our Brampton community. We understand how tough this investigation has been on our community. These events that have taken place can be very scary to our community members. Having such a large fire like this in such a residential area is very tough for many of the members of our community. Peel Police want the community to know that we are working around the clock to make sure that these devastating events are coming to fruition and we are able to fully investigate this investigation. And in speaking with some neighbors on this street, it is certainly very, very devastating, the loss of 3 members of the same family. Is this fire, are the circumstances here considered suspicious? Thank you, Courtney. At this time, we are investigating this with our Homicide Bureau, and we are deeming this as suspicious, as the Ontario Fire Marshal has deemed that this fire was not accidental.
Anything more from the Fire Marshal's Office on how the fire might have started?
Not at this time. Again, as you see right behind you, there's not much left to it. Looking into something like that as a fire marshal, I'm sure is very tough when there is not much left to look at. But we are exhausting all avenues, and homicide has the lead on our investigation.
Can you speak to everyone else involved in this investigation? So you mentioned the Fire Marshal's Office, homicide also involved. What would the role of the coroner be in this?
It's with heavy hearts that we have announced that 3 family members have passed away as a result of this incident. The coroner will ensure that they can determine the cause of death in this situation. And they will, again, like everybody else, complete a very thorough investigation to determine the cause of death for these 3 family members.
And any idea, Constable, when we might have that information?
No, Courtney, I do not have that information for you.
Okay, Constable Taryn Young with Peel Regional Police joining us live this morning. Constable, thank you.
Thank you, Courtney.
So, Jamie, as I mentioned, a number of different agencies involved in this. You have Peel Regional Police, the homicide unit is involved. We know the Fire Marshal's Office trying to determine what sparked this fire. And we also have the Coroner's Office. Those investigators, those doctors will be looking into the exact cause of death because that isn't clear. Is it possible the 3 members of this family, the husband, wife, and child, did they die in the fire or did something else happen? We just don't know. So there is going to be a lot here that investigators will be kind of sifting through. And as we get more information, we'll share that with you. But we also know investigators are talking to people in this neighborhood and people who knew the family. They're asking anyone who knows anything about what might have happened here to come forward. Over to you.
Thanks for that report, Courtney.